This is Tales and Whispers, where every story is felt, not just heard.
Okay, let's dive into a true story that, on the surface, seems pretty simple. It all starts at a bus stop in Paris. But trust me, this one little moment ended up saying something huge about people, about dignity, and about doing the right thing.
So picture this. It's Paris, back in October of 2018. It's just another day in a busy city, the kind of scene that plays out a million times. But this time was different. You know, what happened was so ordinary, but it was the kind of thing that really gets under your skin. It was enough to shake a lot of people up and make them think, which is exactly why we're talking about it today. All right, so here we are, a totally normal, crowded bus stop. People are checking their watches, probably thinking about where they need to be. Just a regular day. Or so it seems. And this is who the story is really about. A man named Francois Lebert. Francois has multiple sclerosis, so he's in a wheelchair. He's just trying to get on the bus, and he's got his brother with him for support. A pretty standard part of his daily routine.
And this is where the mood shifts. The bus pulls up, and suddenly there's this heavy silence. But it's not a good kind of quiet. It's the sound of a whole group of people choosing to ignore something right in front of them. So here's how it plays out. The bus doors swing open, and of course, there's a rush. Everyone's in a hurry. Francois tries to get on and make his way to the spot that's specifically designed for a wheelchair. But it's already full of other passengers. And the worst part? They see him, and they just look away. And this is the line that just gives you chills. It wasn't an accident. It was a choice, a collective one. The original story says not a single eye met his. Think about that. That decision to not make eye contact, to pretend he wasn't there, that's so incredibly isolating. And in that moment, you can just imagine how time must have slowed down for him. Those seconds probably felt like an eternity. He was just made to feel completely small and invisible, surrounded by people. It's a horrible feeling, and one I think we can all, unfortunately, understand in some way. But right when it feels like nothing's going to happen, that indifference is just going to win, the story takes a sharp turn. Because one person decided that no, this is not okay. And what he does next is just, wow.
The bus driver doesn't yell. He doesn't lecture. He just gets up, stands where everyone can see him, and turns off the engine. Dead silence. Suddenly, every single person on that bus is paying attention. He's made a huge statement without saying a single word. And then, calmly, but with this undeniable authority, he just says it. 4 simple words. All of you, get off. Can you imagine the shock? It's the kind of moment that just hangs in the air. And the reaction from the passengers? Oh, it was completely predictable, wasn't it? You get the grumbling, but I'm in a hurry. The excuses start flying. It wasn't my fault. Someone else should have moved. A whole lot of noise to justify doing nothing.
But here's the thing. The driver didn't get into it with them. He didn't argue, because he knew this wasn't about some transportation rule printed on a sign. This was about something much, much bigger. This was about human dignity. And what happened next became this incredible, impromptu lesson, not just for those passengers, but really for anyone who hears the story. So now the bus is empty. And this strange quiet settles in. You know, the kind of silence that's actually really loud. It's the kind that strips away all the excuses and just leaves the truth of what happened sitting there. The driver then walks back to the door, and very calmly, with total respect, he helps Francois and his brother get on board. He wasn't just clearing a path, he was actively showing care. He was restoring the dignity that the crowd had taken away. And when Francois thanked him, the driver's reply just hit right at the heart of it all. He said, "Any one of us might need a wheelchair one day." It's so simple, right? But it's a powerful reminder about empathy and the fact that we're all in this together. This whole situation really forces us to think about what respect actually means. It's not about pity. It's not some optional compliment you give out when you're in a good mood. It's a fundamental right. It's the absolute baseline for how we should treat one another. Which brings us to the real takeaway here: humanity. It's not a luxury item we pull out on special occasions. It's the foundation. Being considerate, making space for someone else, that's not just being nice. That's just being a human being. So, the story leaves all of us with a pretty direct question, and it's one we need to be honest about. If you were on that bus, in that crowd,
Would you have been one of the people to stand up and make space, or would you have waited for someone else to force you to do the right thing?